Welcome everybody. Today is August 14th. The year is 2020. The time is 3 p.m., and that means it's a special time of day. This is the Ask Me Anything portion of the week. This week we continue to be working on one of the main points of development is the new player experience. I might get yelled at if I share some of these things, but I kind of think I'll end up doing it. I actually don't have a great way to just pull this up. Whoops. Right. Asmari dice are coming soon. I should have pulled pictures up ahead of time, but I did not. So I'm not going to be able to go share them, but we have a couple images that are coming for the new player tutorial experience. I think it looks pretty sharp, and it's just going to walk people through the technicals of how do you get through your first battle. And the big thing for the game is this whole thing is really around how many people are playing it, and the more people that are playing it, the better that we can do. The more volume that there is, there's like a million different things that happen just by having more and more players. And so the new player tutorial experience is really meant to get us to the point where we can spend money advertising and make more money than what we spent in a reasonable amount of time. And that's happening through attracting players. And right now we're not efficient enough at converting brand new faces to paying customers, just advertising through social media. So that's the main reason why the new player tutorial experience was turned into the top priority, and that's what we're working on. All right, so I see Asmari Dice is a question. Matt's working hard at that. I really hope that that's coming out this month. No promises because it's like bordering that, but we're pretty close. So I have high hopes that in August, maybe just touching into September, we'll get the Asmari Dice out there, and it's a pretty cool deck. I'm pretty excited for that. Question: is it plausible to half the upcoming collection power requirements to half so as to reduce the overload of limiting human players? No, I actually think that where we set them is super low. We did that very, very purposely to try to keep the requirements really far down there. This is sort of like bare minimum kind of things that we're thinking. So at the moment, that's where I think they're going to land. My personal preference would be to either double or quadruple them. And that's where I think a better fit would be. But I really do respect that the goal of this is it's not really to go drive everybody to force them to have some max level collection. So even though that's my instinct, just because it's my instinct doesn't mean that it's right. So I think where we're at is a great starting point. We'll see how it goes after that. Let's get some data before we make any determinations of how it's going to change. All right, after collection power is implemented, will it be better to stay in Gold 1 rather than Diamond 3 if you stay in the top 10 Gold League players? We haven't determined all of the prizes yet that are going to be part of the different leagues and tiers within the leagues. So I can't tell you that just yet. And likely it'll change. When we implement these things, it's blockchain and changing things in a blockchain. It's sort of like changing things in like a moving spaceship or craft, and we're making changes as we're flying, and it's a balancing act of a lot of different things kind of fighting one another. Give us more rewards. That's wasteful. Spend here. Do this. Do that. There's always I mean, this is sort of the joy and the absolute pain that is blockchain, is that everybody has different reasons for doing something, different motivations, different approaches, and so we have to juggle and balance all that. So the likelihood that we nail it on a version 1, we've given it some good thought, but relatively low. So I don't know. That's I can't tell you exactly where that's going to land. I'm seeing Champ 1 requirements should be a lot higher. Champ 2 and Champ 1 should have a difference. Yep, we've had a bunch of these conversations. Currently, I think the plan is to just roll with it. Let's see what a couple weeks of data look like, and then based off of that, make adjustments on the fly. Hopefully, we're seeing the number of rewards cards that go out. It shrinks dramatically. Because people are sort of in a more realistic league for them, and that we're not just allowing every single account to score the maximum number of cards. That it's really much more a little bit more brutal than that. So we'll see. I mean, Jace, I'm inclined to agree and push up the numbers, but I think it actually makes a lot of sense to start where we are. If I can beat Jace KW with a power score of 1,000, I deserve to be in Champ 1. Yeah. The challenge is that you probably won't be able to do that. So if you get into Champ 1, it's probably because of the number of games played more so than because like the point system kind of gears you towards going up levels. It's not pure skill based. I don't know. This is sort of like we're trying to find this good balancing compromise of, honestly, it's protecting the value for everybody that holds these cards. I mean, it's not in anybody's best interest. Well, there's a very narrow number of people where it's in their best interest to have very low level accounts and collect maximum rewards. But for everybody else, it's not a very good thing for the ecosystem. So that's where we're at. How soon are the floors being implemented? I think it's relatively soon. I think collection power's been out there long enough. I think the general scheme is out there. People know what's going to happen. There's been enough time to sort of make some thoughtful calculations of what you want to do about it. So, again, I'm hoping to start rolling out a bunch of player-facing things in the not too distant future. So. Maybe August, early September. That's where I think we're at. What's the point of super high limits? Are they against humans, bots? If someone can compete with 500,000 CP deck, Champion 1 should be allowed. Not sure why we are limiting players by investment and skill matter less and less. Well, I mean, that's part of why we set the requirement super low. And so Matt and I both look at that and think this is a super low requirement. And we have purposely done what we consider a super low requirement. If we're wrong in that assumption, then we'll come back and change it. But currently, we're setting it quite low. Understand the limits. What's the point of super high limits? I mean, we didn't put them in, so I can't argue that. If you consider my idea of changing the ranking system to be more ordinal, first place, second place, instead of inflationary ELO ranking. It's actually been on my radar to start working through that. I think I want collection power in place first. So I know that tournaments still need more tweaking, but I kind of it's this weird balance of like, what can we get done? What's a reasonable amount of time? How much impact will it have? And so there's different pieces of this development that are ongoing. And rather than like really changing all of tournaments to get to where we want, we already were doing this collection score. So, part of my freakouts with tournaments is like, if you just have a million different accounts that are low value accounts sitting there trying to leech rewards, then it's hard to give out a lot of rewards, and the tournament's not as fun. So I think if we can get some of the accounts that don't belong in some of the tournaments out of there, then we can start looking at redistributing the rewards somewhat differently, and hopefully more favorably to more people, because it's just they won't all be going to low level accounts. So we'll see how that goes. All right. How many dollars does it take to play at champion rank? About 900. That's my deck value, and I'm right at 500K. Although there's other ways, and you can rent, so I'm not sure that's the exact amount. Yeah, I sort of figure that it's going to be pretty close to the deck value. So it might be $500, maybe even less, depending on price of deck and things like that. So I don't know. There's some element of it's kind of like proof of stake. You have to have some stake in the system. If you don't have the stake, the players keep asking me, why can't I just earn all this for free? And then I want to turn that around and be like, if there's somebody that's collecting, why would you go to the market and spend a lot of money to go get all these cards if you can just get everything for free? So there's gotta be this balance where, if you don't have a lot of money, you do have some ways to earn and you can grow your account, and but going completely free to play here isn't going to work either. So it's this weird. It's a weird mix. We're trying to ride the balance, but as Matt says, we are closer to the games like Magic the Gathering, where you have to go buy all your cards and actually own a collection, rather than a freemium model. So that's the spectrum. I don't think that we're actually at freemium or at the physical collectibles. We're somewhere in between those two. But I agree with Matt that we're closer to the collect cards, Magic the Gathering kind of zone. Question: have you thought about a win percent prize as well as high score prizes? There's some players who barely lose, and others in the top 10 who play 1,500 games and win $600 or win 600. Yeah, I don't know how much we've been poking at that. I think again it goes back to once collection scores are here and we get a couple weeks to kind of look at data, then we can start looking at how can we want to change the prize pool now. Well, now that we're not quite as worried about the low level accounts leeching, we can get a little bit more creative. So we'll see if that comes up during the sort of rewards redesign. Question: for a long time there's been a tournament with a huge prize at the end of each month. This month and the previous month, 2 only gold and diamond league rules. Can the next at least be silver league rule as it was in the beginning? Yeah, I mean, I hadn't done a diamond one yet, so I just try to rotate through them. Maybe I should just create a set schedule and show everybody that we're rotating through all the types. But that's just a different type. I don't know, maybe I'll go back and forth. It's hard to say I'm just going to go back and forth between diamond and silver or something, because then I have to get gold foil cards in and some other types. So I don't know. I the thing will cycle, and it will continue to cycle. Isn't the real problem that win streaks give bonuses while losing doesn't give negative effects? So more rating is added to the system almost every match with no sync for it. Yeah, there's some truth to that. So the system does encourage people to move up. So that's part of what we're balancing. Question: can collection power be used to bar high CP players from entering lower league tournaments too, please? This way novice players won't have to fight against the higher rating player. Champion leagues players should not enter novice tournaments. Yeah, I'm the one exception that I think is the novice tournaments, but honestly, if you bought the cards, you really ought to have the right to participate in all of these. If you notice, a lot of those lowest level tournaments are no legendaries whatsoever, and they're current edition only. So, novice, we should probably just rename novice. Novice is more like, starter deck than it is about, your perceived skill level. because it should just allow everybody to participate. And if you have higher cards, they get nerfed, and if it's really just all untamed, that is truly just a skill-based competition. So maybe for the novice one, there might at some point be a way to make it so that the higher ranked players are excluded, but I wouldn't see that happening for the other ones. Question. Oh, they've mentioned this. Phase 3. Will this change concentrate bot activity at lower ranks, giving the appearance to new players that the game is only played by bots? That's possible. I don't know. We'll have to see where all the different accounts land. I mean, it might be good because then you feel like, all right, there's liquidity at all the different ranks. And currently there is not liquidity in gameplay at all current ranks. So, I don't know. We'll have to see where that actually gets to. Are you trying to market this game as an investment or as a fun game to play with ownership of cards? Well, we certainly can't market this game as an investment because then that starts getting into talk as a security. So we are a fun game, and it turns out that you can own those cards, and then you guys have to make up your own determination if scarce collectibles that are provably scarce will over time have any benefits to you financially. But the game, like, we simply can't market the game as an investment. That's just looking for trouble. Is collection power considered? Then how can you abuse it? Oh, that's not to me. Please set a higher bottom threshold on DEC rewards. Getting 10 chests and 9 DEC is harsh. Yeah, that's RNG. Random number generations are brutal. Question: what other measures aside from the CP requirements are being taken against bots? We set up a bunch of this stuff so that, and actually, we set up a bunch of this just so that the goal is not to be pro-bot or anti-bot. I mean, the overall goal is to make a decentralized game, and in a decentralized game, there shouldn't be any authority saying you're a bot or you're not. So the real question is, how do we make sure that accounts that can play 24/7 don't have any advantage over a human that really only has 30 to 45 minutes on a day in between all the rest of their day to go play. So that's some of why we have that energy capture rate. That's why we're doing some of this league readjustment, and how you rank up is changing some so that it's less emphasis on number of games played and more emphasis on how skilled you are. So there's a bunch of these tweaks to this that are rolling out with the collection power that hopefully make it feel more even and make it feel like you are progressing. And even if you don't own a champion level deck, that you're on a leaderboard, you're making progress, you're earning bonus loot. So it should actually make you feel much better about being in whatever position you are, rather than it's champion or nothing. So hopefully that's a better experience for all players. That's at least our intention. Question: can we have caps for tournaments as well? This way we won't have top level decks playing against bronze leagues. So that question was already answered. Maybe only at the novice level, but I can't see that happening at a bunch of the other ones. The way that works is we do rule caps so that you can only do the current edition cards, and sometimes there are no legendaries whatsoever. I mean, that makes it a pretty fair, pretty even thing. I mean, most of the players, at bronze should be able to go participate fairly in that scheme. Question: once the collection power requirements go into effect, if your collection power goes down below a threshold, will your league rewards go down as well, or will you keep the highest attained league rewards for the season? I have to confirm that with Matt. I believe that the answer is if you drop down, then you are immediately dropped down. So yeah, you can't rent cards, get up high, cancel all your rents, and then just keep earning at the highest level, because you'll drop down. So I can confirm that with Matt, but that's my current understanding. Question, are there additional rewards planned for more in-depth content made for Splinterlands, like strategy, collecting, etc.? Most of the quality articles get lost around match of the day 30-second read. Are there additional rewards planned for more in-depth content made for Splinterlands? Yeah, I mean, so we're working on Guild Wars. Guild Wars will have guild faction points in a shop, and you can buy there. We're working on the land pre-sale. You can buy land, get buildings, and use those buildings to go produce items and spells. So, and we're working on boss fights, and boss fights should have unique loot. So between all of those, there should be plenty of unique rewards, NFTs that you can own and trade that you earn through playing the game. For tournaments, you should pay more if it's not your league tournament, no matter up or down. I'm not sure that I really agree with that. You know, look, guys, my problem is I don't want to discourage people from collecting higher level tiers. I don't want to make it so that like everything favors them. That's wrong too. But I don't want to punish somebody for collecting cards. So the way that we make it fair is we just nerf everything, and at that point, you know, it's a fair match because it's all nerfed, and especially when we're doing current league only, it's not like one dude is sitting there with 8 cards and somebody else is sitting there with like 2,000. You know, you're limited to the same set of the current edition. I think that's a pretty fair fight. So that's where I'm at. Reference to NASCAR, go NASCAR, pretty neat thing by Neil. But excuse me. What if people start renting gold cards for low prices to increase collection power? I mean, if that happens, then that's amazing. But who wouldn't want that? Go. Everybody in the system wins that way. You know, it's that is a fantastic outcome. All right. Other questions for me? You guys are talking to each other. I can't always tell. Any word on how soon a mobile application will be available? We'll be submitting the Android to the Apple Store, I believe, in September. So that's when we submit. How long these guys do it, I don't know. As I've shared before, there's a lot of crypto prejudice still in the world, and you know, we get targeted and people get scared. I spoke to do I want to go? Yeah, when I was speaking to Linden Labs, they went and they said, well, we asked some of our bankers, and they said if we start doing some of this, they'll cancel our banking relationships, and that's like a hundreds of millions of dollar company per year. So it doesn't matter if you're big or small. It's not Splinterland specific. The current system is a little brutal towards crypto, and that's the challenge. What are you most personally excited for on the roadmap? Oh, a little softball, man. That's kind of you. Yeah, I'm pretty stoked for Guild Wars. I think getting the trash talking there and some battles and some real rivalries and some loot and building improvements and kind of like an initial start, like teeny touch of what land might look like, shop, all that. Like I think Guild Wars will be pretty fun. So I'm excited for that. Another one would be like I'm pretty pro land, but the like, I mean, the thing that I just want are more players, and I can't. You know, people have said, you know, that we just spend money on marketing. And like, if we had done that, we'd be broke by now because we don't get a return on it. But with this new player, the new player tutorial, I think we'll actually be in a place where we can spend and within 30 days get all of that money back, and hopefully more. And if that's the case, then that's really the ticket to like a perpetual growth machine, and that will work until we've you know, clogged up that market that we find. But yeah, that's not hugely far away. That's something that we're we're working on now. So here's hoping that that'll be here before too long. Let me see. I've talked about it a couple times. Where did I put this? I think I can dig this up without ruining my screen. So give me a second. I'm loading this. I'm in here. I go to this. I find my buddy Nate. Nate has that link. This link goes to this thing. And I guess maybe I'll screenshot this or something. It's taking a second to load. Here, let's try this. So we're gonna go. This is a work in progress, guys. This is not a promise. This is not a forever thing. But that's currently the kind of thing that we're looking at. So here, you'll have a couple characters that are sort of narrating the experience to you. This is where you click. This is where you go. This is what you do. A little tete-a-tete and a little battle there. So as soon as you log in, you'll click login, you'll register, and it'll be you're being attacked. Yeah, hey, is Gerber here? Yeah, Baby's in here. Baby, maybe you could accept dark energy crystals as a form of payment. That could be fun. We should really be promoting that to more places. Because if you start accepting them, then hopefully everybody that's around here will start being like, hey, if I earn some dark energy crystals, then I can also get these NFTs over there. Help the new player experiences, coaches them through selling a rewards card. Yeah, I think right now we're just focused on the battles, but I think as we figure this out, we'll get more and more so that right now it's Lorlax will help you. He is your coach. But later, Cindy, I was going to say Cindy McCain, which that is not who I want to be our market leader. But, we could go make a play on Elon Musk or something. Elon Tusk has been used before. But there, you'd go and thered be a tutorial of, hey, let's go list your first card or buy your first card. We'll get some of that stuff going. And more work again. Yeah, Gerber. It sounds like Gerber's into it. Might get like this is the goal. Is that just as we get bigger, it becomes very interesting to people to go accept dark energy crystal as payment. And as that happens, just everything good should start lining up. I'll tell you. So I don't know if you guys saw this, but there is I got a market maker done. It's like the very beginning stages of this, but I'm actually really excited for it because it means that like any Yahoo that just wants to start trading dark energy crystals, and just having that market automatically place orders on both sides, that'll be good. So if we can add liquidity with some market making, and we can add some liquidity with other games accepting the token, things start adding up, and we keep that going on. Underground chicken fights. Endless other ideas. Underground chicken fights. Man, you're gonna get like a digital PETA coming after you. Rising Star accepts DEC for cards. I didn't know that. We should go advertise that. Because on the other side, if they start accepting this, then we should be doing what we can to support them. So that's how this thing goes two ways. Use our currency and get eyeballs on your project. That's the exchange that we're willing to make. Splinter Talk rewards on posts already working? If yes, I think it's still the SBT tag. I can go ping the dev and I do want Splinterlands just to work, but I think it's right now you have to put in SBT or maybe Splinter Talk. I don't know. That was my first piece of that Rising Star concert on Splinterlands. Sure. Question: any hints for the new guild versus guild building or potentials for what they might do? With a disclaimer of that it's all subject to change. Yeah, we have 3 different guild buildings in mind. A guild shop. So the more that you progress your guild shop, the better items and the better loot that you'll be able to purchase. We want to get just like the arena building itself. So the higher the arena level, this is a current design. If this doesn't all happen, don't lynch me. This is currently what we're trying. But the higher the level, then the range of fights should increase, the number of fights should increase, and the card levels should increase, and how much you can earn will increase. So, if you have like a level 1 arena, then you're fighting with like 10 to 15 bronze level decks. And if you have a maxed one, then some of them will be gold foil champions, some gold foil gold, some regular gold, and it'll be a nice, a higher level mix of all the different rule sets, or like the base rule sets, not the conflicts, but like the base rule sets. And then we're also pondering how we're going to go do sort of like how we can customize your arena some. We want each arena to look a little different, to have some tech tree that's a little bit different than its counterparts. Because I'm originally from Boston, and when you go play in Fenway for a baseball match, everybody knows that there's this giant green wall called the Green Monster that it's really hard to hit home runs over. And it's things like that. And other times you like play in Denver and it's the Mile High, and everybody knows that like you're going to be super out of breath and it's really hard to play up there. So like all these different arenas get their own little bits of flavor. So we're currently now thinking through like, are there different rule sets that we can start introducing for the different arenas, and like some kind of tech tree or point tree, so that as your arena like goes up, you have the option to start putting in these little tweaks, and then you kind of get this home field advantage because okay, flying monsters get this bonus and ranged monsters get this bonus. We hurt spellcasters with in these rule sets, and like you just know team compositions in your home arena that work better than normal. So it's kind of like one more layer of depth. So we're playing with that. Whether or not that comes into fruition, whether that's V1, who knows? But that's some of what we're looking at. We need front ends to make it visual, like on Steam Peak, Guildhall, awesome, new concepts. Would love to see a card that gives negative effects to your own team. Yeah, that could be fun. Let's go hurt my own guys. I beat you with a card that slowed me down. Customizations could go a long way with their guild. Yeah, I mean, there's just like an infinite amount of things that we can do. It's just how long it takes, and oftentimes it's like that design process is really long too, because it's really hard to get the balance of all this stuff correct. So don't cry for me too much. But as Matt and I work with the team members and some community members to figure out like, we need this to balance. We need this to grow the game. We need to make sure that new players are welcomed and there's a chance to earn. And we have to make sure that the OGs and the people that have been here aren't seeing their collections like decrease over time because of power creep, or because we're not honoring the amount of money that they put in previously. So there's a lot of balance. There's a lot of balance to this. We have the players that want to play all the time. We have the players that don't play ever. We have people that trade, people that flip, people that sell their collections, people buying collections. Like, there's all these different stakeholders, which is amazing. That's what makes this place so vibrant. But planning around that is also quite troubling. What's in my pocket right now? You're assuming I'm wearing pants. I am this time, but at the moment I'm playing with a bearing. This is a skateboard, roller skate, or like tool bearing, and that's what I'm fidgeting with. But that's a good Lord of the Rings question. What's in my pocket? We don't know, my precious. All right. Did you get into trouble? No, I'm not in trouble. I'm still here. Question: any news on NFTs for Second Life? I don't know how much of that I can disclose. The basic premise is they are in a company-wide transition and are in a holding pattern for the next 4 months or so, where even if every single executive there fully agreed on this, they couldn't do it. And there's a whole bunch of reasons why, and they have nothing to do with me. That said, I've been talking to them for about 2 months, and I have more meetings with them planned. So yeah, they were okay. I'm glad that's public knowledge. They were purchased, and because they were purchased, they just have, there's like a lot of stuff that goes with that, especially because they have all these money transmitter licenses and all that stuff. That's a big to do, and we are not a big to do. So we're on their radar. I hope to be helping them, and there's discussions about it, but no promises. But that to me would be a big cool win, not just for Hive Engine or Splinterlands, but for like all of Hive. I mean, like, honestly, if you get an economy that's he said that their secondary market was doing like $250 million a year, and I thought it was way smaller than that, because like Second Life, that was cool like 10 years ago. There's that many people still doing it. That's amazing. So anyways, yeah, that's a big deal. And if it's all going through swap.hive, that'll be pretty amazing. Will there be Untamed Epic Summoners at some point? I don't think they're going to make it into this edition. So look to future editions for Epics. But yeah, I don't think they're going to make it here. Do people even use credits? Haven't heard of anyone using them so far. You kidding me? Like, there's thousands of dollars a day that people purchase credits from us. So, yeah, there's tons. Like, absolutely tons. I think it was like just shy of $5,000 yesterday. So, I would say a lot. Okay. We got about 20 minutes left. You guys have to... whatever other questions you have, let's get them in. I guess just tonally, like, I'm pretty excited that, like, we can have good things going on. We have partnerships that we're building. We're having good conversations with the game credits team. We're having good conversations with the COGS team. There are some other brands that we're talking to. I imagine that there's more good stuff that's coming out here in the not too distant future. So I'm pretty happy. I imagine that we just keep growing. Like the big sea change to me. What's this timeline? So somewhere between now and I hope September, like the end of September, our new player tutorial system should be done and implemented. And with that thing implemented, we can start testing some more marketing campaigns. And the question is, how long does it take for us to go get our money back from this marketing? And, if we can do this on Brave and spend, thousands and nearly immediately get it back, then guys, we're just gonna pump money into that, and we'll exhaust it until we've grabbed every single crypto user that likes trading card games. So that'll be pretty exciting. What about Splinterlands sponsoring the sports team? There's other stuff that I'd like to do right now. We have green and black Rexies. Are there more Rexies coming? There's always more. There's always more cards on the way. Who knows what that'll be? Possible to get an app on the App Store that accepts crypto without KYC. Yeah, we're gonna find stuff like that out. So in September, we should have the Android app go out the door. At least submitted to the App Store, whether or not it actually gets listed. So this is one of the things that we gotta do this. Oh, that's a really sweet question. How can the player community support you and the team the best? Play games, tell your friends, get people here, give people your referral link. I mean, this thing is just all more users. I mean, the buy cards is a fun answer, but I honestly I don't want I want you guys buying cards, but I don't want people that feel pressure to buy cards. I want you to buy cards because it's fun and you want to be here, and the game's fine. If you have to choose between eating and buying cards, go eat. Make smart life decisions. And if you have some extra crypto, or if you have some extra dollars, or if you want to take dollars and get them into crypto, then these NFTs are a great way to do it. Yeah, the Splinter talk should be running. But anyways, look, it is a good question, and the main thing, everything about this is we need more people here. More people is more volume. More volume is more liquidity. Easier to transfer in and out. It's easier to get the attention of other companies and other products and people that want to participate in this ecosystem because it's big. So if there's a single thing that I would ask you guys to do, it's get more players here. Find some folks that are cool and buy them a starter pack and get your referral code on it. So we can just do so much when there's more people. That's the big thing. Everyone's still here with all this Steam Hive J69 drama. Love Splinterlands. Thanks, Dreamrider. Yeah, I mean. Look, 2020 is a hell of a year. We have not only survived but grown through. I've never experienced a year like 2020. This is the craziest year of my life. It's brutal on like every single front. So, but Splinterlands is just freaking resilient as can be, and we just keep trucking. We're up 170% for our revenue from last year. We've like tripled or quadrupled the number of games played per day compared to last year. The active number of accounts is more than triple. I mean, honestly, we're kind of killing it. So I'm grateful. It's because we have a team that just like spends an extraordinarily large amount of time passionately building. We have a community that. You guys are crazy, and sometimes it's like the biggest pain in my neck, and but in the end, that's good for the game. It's good to hold us accountable and make sure that we're working on behalf of you guys. But this success isn't possible without that community, without the players here and those that are listening to this recording, and those that are just kind of playing but don't even bother to check in, but they're out there buying cards and ranking up, and I don't know. This game is really all about the players. So glad to have as many here as we have. What else? 2020 was insane. Does Splinter Talk work? It does. All right. So I have reached the end of chat. We're kind of out of questions. Unique active accounts last time I checked. Those accounts that have played in the last month were more than 9,000. So there's a lot of them. There's a lot of people. It's not just the dudes in Discord. There's plenty of people that never even set foot in here and don't care, don't even know that exist. They're just out there playing, sometimes on a mobile, sometimes on a desktop. News about the partnerships that are announced. There's more stuff coming. We gotta, the three groups are sort of Wax, Game, and Cogs, and there should be stuff about all of them. Wax, we're just waiting on some developers to get back with us. The Cogs should be rolling out shortly, waiting on developers to get back with us. And Game, this is on us. We're working on getting game tokens as an acceptable form of payment, and hopefully helping to bridge. I don't think it's going to be a ton of people, but if we can go get some Ethereum users over here and people that have Game and have staked Game and have held Game and are familiar with Ethereum, then that might help us bring in this whole other Ethereum community. And even if it's not huge player-wise, it can be massive financially, and not just for the Splinterlands team, but for this entire ecosystem. So that would be pretty fun. New Asmari cards will come with Untamed background. Yeah. And what burn rate will they have? I don't know that we've publicly disclosed that. I think it's going to be the Untamed burn rate. But some of that are Matt likes to make some of those decisions right at the very end. Will they come with an Untamed background? Oh, you just mean, yeah, that they're going to be Untamed as the frame art. All right, how are you going to enjoy this fine Friday afternoon? I'm going to go sit around and make tweets and some LinkedIn posts about our game and check stats and see what other things need doing. Our new rule set's coming. I have one new rule set. So if do you guys remember back at the very beginning, you could have trample, and trample never stopped trampling. And so you could, one of my favorite matches of all times was just watching one Rexy go down the line and just smush every single target. And it was glorious. It was just so joyful to me because that's total domination by Rexy. Oh, it was wonderful. So the one rule set that I keep bugging Matt to go implement is infinite trample. So I don't think that it should go back to the way that it was. I mean, this trample was broken. So this is a much more level playing field. Where you're now not forced to use trample. But I do think that having infinite trample as a rule set, our goal is to help you guys build stories, stories that you can just laugh your ass off and just be so happy with, dude, this guy played this team and I played this team, and suddenly I smashed him here, I smashed him there, and before you know it, I didn't even lose an armor and I decimated his entire team. And that, we want you to be able to tell these stories, and we don't want it to be where I own these 4 cards, so I won every time. That's stupid. But we do want it to be where I played these 4 cards at this perfect time, and my opponent did this dumb thing, and I shattered his face. And this infinite trample rule set, I think lets you do that. So that should be awesome. Have we applied to Shark Tank yet? No, I was looking at it, and then I guess I just dropped the ball on it. But Maybe next week I'll go poke back at that. But I did look at Shark Tank. Do not do Shark Tank. Why can't I do Shark Tank? I've watched a lot of Shark Tank. Shark Tank is an excellent show. Bad experience for people. That's fine. Don't take the deal. Yeah. Taking the deal is crazy. Well, because I'm Mark Cuban, I should get 70% of your company for $8. Well, I appreciate that, but no, thank you. Yeah. No. I like but being on TV is amazing, and being on Shark Tank is amazing. So, so that would be a lot of fun. Yeah, some stupid wins. Why can't I be on Shark Tank? Yeah, Shark Tank is awesome. I would like to be there. Yeah, I'll give you $2 million for 5% is about right. Now that's my starting offer. Oh, there's no lull. That's my starting offer. Okay, so so we have 8 minutes left. What other things do you want to know? Splintex is winding down, not completely. Just the current set of interns are they're running out of their summertime. I'm probably going to go submit for University of Waterloo has like an internship program. I will probably submit to them and see what happens there. But kudos to that team. This is part of the fun of like building on Hive is that I took a bunch of sophomores in college and got them to go build a marketplace. Like that's pretty fun. That's pretty cool. So I think it would be a lot harder to do that on Ethereum and Solidity and smart contracts and all that. But this is just web development. Here's a bunch of kids. I shouldn't call them that, but youngins. The youngins did it. You guys don't have the deep questions. So it is a Friday, so maybe we'll call the raid just a couple minutes early. So with that, I think like we're on a good pace. We have some pretty cool development that should be hitting soon. The new player tutorial stuff is looking sweet. And we've done our best to clear Nate's calendar so it can all get designed. There's good communication happening between the design team, the dev team, and the leadership team. And I don't know. I'm happy with the way things are progressing. There's good partnerships getting formed. Chris and Carrie are out there, hawking the website, hawking the groups, and we're getting a lot of traffic that way. And I don't know. Part of me I just keep feeling like we're on the precipice. We are on the precipice. Pretty soon we get to cross this great divide, and I'm excited about it. When do we expect new abilities? I think there's at least 3 new abilities that are coming in the dice. So yes, SPT tokens have been copied to Hive Engine. That's done. Will Alexi be in Asmare? I don't think so. Why is Ethereum 440? Yeah, it's a great question. Somebody's got to go fix the Hive price. It's sitting here at 25 cents. Okay, well that's when collection power gets implemented for leagues, Hive will go to $5. We'll see. So anyways, look, we're going to call it a day. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for being here. Thank you for spending time with Ask Me Anything. Thanks for being part of this community. We are, I don't know, Matt and I just get so humbled and grateful for just having you folks here, having you pay attention, having you spend your time here and your money here and get your entertainment here and talk trash here and hang out here. It honestly is the best, and we're so grateful. So that's what I got for today. I hope you guys have a blessed Friday. Enjoy this weekend. Play some games. Season ends in like 24 hours, so hopefully you guys kill it, and we'll see you soon. Actually, my next thing, I'm going to go get this recording up. So You guys are great. That's the Ask Me Anything for today, and I'll be in Discord, and I'll see you guys in a week. Thanks so much. Bye.